Hello, my name is Kira and welcome back. This is another episode of Sunless Skies. I think it's episode 25. It might be 26. I can't count. And we're on a loading screen. Lovely. So, um, I've been a little bit distracted of late, playing other games, and Apex happened, and then Anthem, and I'm playing Anthem with a friend. I'm also playing Halo for the first time, and I'm really, really bad at it. Um, Luckily, my friend is helping me through all of that because I am horrible at that game. Oh my god, I have no money. That's okay. Where was I going to go? Let's have a quick look at the journal. I think a lot of the things that we learned from our crew members and stuff actually required us to go back through the relay and end up going to Carillon. And I'm really, really kind of tempted to do that. But then I also want to find where the Perdurance is. And so I might do that first. So we have enough supplies for now. I'm just going to go this way and see if we can find the Perdurance. Do we have anything we can deliver? Let's have a look at our hold. Well, there's some things that can be sold. And we have some quests we can do to make some money because we have no money. So I'm just going to travel this way and see if we can find the bloody Perdurance because I feel like it should be near the Royal Society, but procedural generated map. It's not like it's always going to make sense. And my combat ability is woeful, so I'm just running away from everything. So that's another problem. I'm also wearing, I just realized I'm also wearing the same shirt that I was wearing last episode. I really like this t-shirt. That's my excuse. I have other clothes. I do. I just like this t-shirt. I went for a quick walk, and I had a pretty nice walk. I feel quite energetic. I had a lovely visit with my parents yesterday, and that was that was pretty good too. I enjoyed that. So this is a saying something. Investigate. Got one supply out of that. Fantastic. That's useful. Right. This place doesn't look very friendly. Investigate. Another supply. It's looks like abandoned habitations. Right. So yeah, so I had a visit with my parents, which is in my weekly schedule. It was lovely. 62%, 55, 100%. Humble wooden coffins appear, pepper the sky here. There's a bully's acre, the pauper's graveyard. There's a little room for the dead in London. Let's just pay our respects and lower our terror. It's not like it'd be good to grave rob like these people are about to do, I think. Oh dear. We can just continue to run away from him. Oh, there's two of them now. Great. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just running at this point. Oh god, this is not exactly ideal. Ooh, nicely avoided. I'm learning. It might take me a while to learn a game, but I'm getting there. I have also recently tried to play Celeste, and I mean try to play Celeste. Like, it was so hard. And I really want to be able to play it without the assist mode because I know that the game was meant to be played without assist mode. I know the game is meant to be difficult, and I want to be able to overcome that difficulty, but it is incredibly hard. And I haven't really played platformers, so I'm finding the entire idea of platformers rather new and difficult to begin with. So hopefully I'll get, be able to figure it out and maybe able to... No, I'm not going to open a coffin. I mean, come on. I don't want to be that kind of captain. Jeez. We'll let the grave robbers do all that shit. If I had a better ship with, better combat capability, I might have taken a few of those grave robbers down, but I can't. So all I'm going to do is float amongst the stars and Maybe I'll go to the Clockwork Sun for some supplies. I'm not sure. Because I don't think I have any money to pay for fuel and stuff at this point. I'm very broke. There might be some things at the bank though. So it might be worth me going towards the bank. Investigate the ruins. Got some ammunition. Lovely. Just what I needed. Pay my respects for more terror reduction. And ignore the star-maddened captains. I mean, that's not another thing I've learnt. I don't actually have to fight everything. I can just run away. So the Perdurance can also be this way. I might go to London, pick up some supplies, sell some stuff that I don't need, and then make my way around. So I'm not going to make you watch me do all of that. So what I'll do is I'll do it in my own time. I'll obviously continue to record just in case something interesting happens. And I will see you when something interesting does happen. I really do hope you are enjoying this Let's Play of Sunless, guys, as much as I enjoy playing it. Wait, what is this? An artificial glow in your windows, carefully engineered hues, dawn of afternoon and dusk. Hello? I think I found a new port. Hope this is the Perdurance, because we've got quests to do here. The parlor. Is this Perdurance? I don't know. Never mind. On approach, Perdurance looks like an opulent mansion caught partway through the genteel explosion. Each constituent set of rooms accounted for but separated and out of place. Each is connected in a rough circle by narrow winding passages. The steep roofs are topped with shingle turrets and precarious towers. The elegantly disassembled country houses perch on the top of soot-stained, windowless factories, whose chimney belch gouts of smoke and fire. Enter the parlor. The docks face a set of polished oak doors carved into with a series of masked figures dancing in the quadrille. The windows in the parlor are shuttered, the light stained with pale yellows, blushing pinks, and bruised violets. Lit with the illusion of dawn or perhaps dusk, you see a room cluttered with stiff-backed armchairs and decorative chaises, set against savagely floral wallpapers in the shade of burgundy, violet, and Brunswick green. A portrait of the Empress, unsmiling, hangs in the ornate gilt frame. A few visitors mill about, casting speculative glances at the exasperated butler while they pretend to examine the decor. Alright, let's get the port report. Perdurance is a jewel in the Empire's crown, where its favorite sons and daughters are pampered, protected, and preserved. The visitors are puffed up with importance and embarrassingly eager to tell you how they obtained an invitation to the half-light Masque, some through the patronage or long service, others through less salubrious means. All are desperate to spend the day in the company of the glittering inhabitants of Perdurance, the brightest stars in Albion's firmament. For here, the sons and daughters of Her Majesty's most important courtiers reside in eternal youth and sophistication. Cool. There's that. Stand for Parliament? No, thank you. And join the... Talk to the exasperated butler first, because it doesn't cost us anything, it looks like. Yes, and, he demands. He lifts through a leather-covered logbook to make it clear that he is, in fact, terribly busy. Inquire about the nature of the Perdurance. He sighs. This is Perdurance, the home of the half-light Masque. Here, Her Majesty has created a single perfect day wherein the finest examples of the Empire's youth may reside for all time. At the day's end, there is a grand ball. When it's over, the day is spun anew with fresh hours and all begins again. No one who resides here will age even a single day. Visitors are permitted, of course, relatives and a select few others, as long as they have an invitation, he says pointedly. Right. Ask about gaining an invitation. How does one get in exactly? If one asks how to obtain an invitation, one probably shouldn't have it. Typically, they're granted to the relatives of residents. However, the Ministry of Public Decency may award invitations to those who have served the Empire. We also receive an unusual number of visitors from the Royal Society. An invitation permits the bearer to enter a single instance of the Masque from morning to evening. You thank him, but it clearly wishes to impress upon the grandeur of the matter. It is a great honor to be invited here, and even greater one to be rewarded with a residence. The Empress is most generous with her favored servants. He gives you a sharp look and adds, and we are all her servants, are we not? Of course. Ask about the debutants. Who is permitted to live here? Why? They are the sons and daughters of Her Majesty's most valued, most trusted counselors and confidants. The residents want for nothing. They need fear nothing. They will not grow old nor care to worry. They will be preserved forever in the flower of their youth and innocence. These are the gifts that Her renewed Majesty is to grant. Right. Can they leave? Why on earth would they want to do that? To do so would seem remarkably ungrateful. Of course. What about who chooses? The debutantes. Her renewed Majesty, of course. She chooses them herself from amongst the children of her most beloved advisers and agents. This is the reward for her service, immortality and luxury for one's issue. Could there be anything better? Probably not. Maybe. Depends. Goodbye. Right. So, should we head in? Hang on, let's just go to the shops real quick. Bargains available. Do we need munitions? No, we do not. And we already have one. So no thank you. Butler's discretion. We can buy some Ministry approved literature, but that's about it. That's a bit useless. Well, we'll just go back to the stories. Go to the parlor and hand in the invitation. Through the Empress, straight on till morning. The portrait of the Empress swings open and the succession of brightly dressed debutantes, sour-faced chaperons, and prim servants stumble into the parlor. They barely have a moment to rest their feet and take a sip of tea before a panel of wallpaper slides open. The dark mow of shapely curving passages just visible in the dawn light. The exasperated butler snatches the invitation from your hands. Remember, your invitation only lasts one day. It is a warning but sounds a little wistful. He propels you forward to join the court in its procession. You emerge a little tender into the morning. Right. Oh wow, there's a lot to do. Find the presumptuous heiress? We need to. Or find a way below stairs with the incognito princess. Dearest mother showed me the plans as a princess. The engineers should be back here engineering. I do so wish to observe them. Let's rush. Well, let's start with the heiress, shall we? The macabre counselor commissioned you to find and free her daughter, the presumptuous heiress. First, you need to find her amongst the debutants. Search the dining hall, I guess. That's the only choice I've got. It's 61% chance of success. Oh, success! The macabre counselor provides you with a fulsome description, several charcoal sketches, and a lock of hair. Unfortunately, almost everyone here is young, comely, and slavishly contemporary with current fashions. An entanglement. There she is! Her massive dark brown curls is set off in a spray of curving blue-black feathers so high they scrape the low ceiling. She leans on a grand piano talking to the pianist, a lady of comparable build, with similar brown curls and identical chin and matching eyes. They could be sisters. Oh. Apparently, the macabre counselor has 2 daughters. She said nothing of this. No doubt will prove it to be a complication. There are too many people nearby to speak to either sister discreetly, but in the evening there'll be a ball. Perhaps you'll have a chance then. Okay, move onwards. The morning room is a grander version of the parlor, presided over by the aureate duchess in her pink and purple silks. Dowagers of bearing stateliness and aplomb take tea and convene in low tones. Other debutantes reply in correspondence, writing notes in elegant script and affixing them with sealing wax. Meanwhile, chaperons give orders to the servants to see the Perdurance's household accounts. The light is flushed yellow, autumnally ripe. Move onwards. One of the dowager duchesses ring a bell. Conversation halts with the practice certain as morning is over. Through the darkness. Everyone arrays themselves in procession according to their station. The dowager duchess is at the front, debutantes just behind, then chaperons and visitors and the servants bring up the rear. There is much jostling for positions within each group according to rules that you cannot begin to fathom. You enter the narrow and twisting passage, stumbling in the enveloping darkness as debutantes giggle and shout. Which With each step, the shrieks of hours being spun backwards resonates through your body, leaving you shaking and worn. You emerge, blinking into the dazzle of the afternoon. It's afternoon Perdurance. Okay. We can charm someone? No, let's go and follow with the Incognito Princess. That's the word. The loom chambers below stairs thunder and smoke. There are rows upon rows of owl looms, each tended by weavers with their hairs pinned tightly back. The heat of the cooking combines with the shudder of machinery in the pandemonium. Watching over it all are the theoretical engineers, across access to them barred. Engineers only, states a sign in an angry font. Get the driver? The driver's an engineer. They could get you in. Gather the rats. They're engineers. The rodents will get us in. Pose as an engineer, or rejoin the Masque. All right, let's get the driver. The driver's an engineer. An incautious introduction. With the introduction from a peer, it is easy to arrange a meeting with the engineers who keep the Perdurance trapped in a single perfect day. The Incognito Princess is enchanted by the turning machinery, and the engineers are enchanted with her. They form a hive of activity around her, competing to answer her questions. She seems unsatisfied and presses harder. Change is one constant, though, she says. How do you truly prevent it? By what method does change try to escape your bondage? She realizes that you're still there and dismisses you, saying that she can find her own way back. Well, 1,000 experiences. Lovely. Rejoin the Masque. We need to charm someone, I guess. 62, 62, 61. Right, let's have a look. Charm a chaperone. A chaperone pushes his foot around this plate while a loud deputy tells an interminable joke. You suspect the chaperone has heard it a great many times. Or you drain your wine glass and raise it an inch, trying to catch a servant's eye. Perhaps given an opportunity, you can win their approval. Let's try a chaperone. Failure. Damn. Bitterness and bile. You inquire whether he has some malady or ailment, and he fixes you with a bitter look. An ailment? Indeed, its name is Perdurance. It subsides after this utterance, and you eat in stilted silence. Well, that failed. Here, in the curtains are pulled back with tousled ropes, allowing the clockwork sun to spill its dark gold into the dining room. The long table is set with rows of gleaming china dinner plates, patterned with delicate florals. Silver cutlery, polished to a high shine, gleams atop a pristine tablecloth. Servants pour endless glasses of watered wine or carry in the next in a stream of elaborate dishes. Move onwards. A dowager duchess gives a small nod and the entire company rises as one, twisting, turning. A passage opens behind the china cabinet and the procession forms once more. You take a breath and step into the close, stifling darkness, trying not to fall behind as the passage contorts and coils. With each step, the shrieks of hours being spun backwards resonates through your body, leaving you shaking and worn. You spot a figure masked in featherless black, their face covered by a smooth oval of polished obsidian. Who are they? It's an enormous relief to spill into the evening at the grand ballroom. Everyone finds their places without a murmur, and courtly life is resumed, almost as the terrors you have just experienced never existed. Hanging from the grand ballroom ceiling is a vast ormolu gasselie, its spidery arms decked with cut crystal ropes. It casts soft yellow brightness onto the masked dancers below as they whirl about in polished paraquet floor. Music blends with the hum of genteel conversation and the stiff swish of starched crinolines. The half-light mask is in full swing. Is barely room to stand, much less move. Right. Shall we dance with the heiress? She favors a polka, alas. The presumptuous heiress is everything you expected in a dance partner, demanding, joyful, and touched too exuberant for propriety. Her attention is only partially on you and only very peripherally on the steps of the dance. Instead, she waves her friends across the ballroom, whispers snatches of conversation as they pass close by. Between the mincing steps and interspersed with quick turns and double time, you manage to ask your questions. Ask her to live with you. Tell her about her mother's commission. Leg-witted in the extreme. For all of frivolity, the presumptuous heiress can summon a thunderous frown when the moment demands it. Leave without my poor luckless sister? I've never heard such base cowardice. She continues for some time, casting imprecations on her mother, her plans, and her own involvement. The idea is lag-witted in the extreme, even for Mama. I would rather rot here. She plucks a credit from the passing silver platter and looks for a servant to refill her champagne. As expected, a complication. The macabre counselor told you that she has an agent in position in Perdurance to assist you. You better find them and seek advice. The counselor's daughter. Well, if she refuses to leave, let's dance with the luckless sister. Let's see what happens. The luckless sister is light on her feet with a graceful tread. Her curls escape her pins as she twirls, gleaming in dark bronze in the gaslight. She looks very much like her sister as she dances, the occasional anxious line in her face smoothing over with the abandon of youth. Still, there is a watchfulness about her even as you clap your hands and smile. You must use your moment for speech somehow you contrive. Right. Let's just ask her about the family. The luckless sister is thoughtful where her sister is pleasingly frivolous, and considered when her sister is untroubled. You gently steer the conversation in the direction of her sister, probing for resentment or jealousness. You find none. It's only when you mention the mother or the mother the luckless sister's quiet charm falters. The one true pleasure of this awful place that I am unlikely to ever see her again. Awful place. You look around at the laughing dancers and their shimmering finery, the crystal decanters dark with wine, and the window's evening blaze caught in the reflected in the shining chandeliers. Ask about the commission. The luckless sister laughs, startles a nearby chaperone. He gives you a stern look, no doubt suspecting you of nefarious levities. Once her amusement subsided, she refuses. If I truly thought that it would be best for my sister, I would help you. My mother would only entangle her in schemes and plots. My sister is ill-suited to a life of intrigue and suspicion. She is not surprised that her mother would abandon her here, nor does she seem inclined to aid you. You will need to find some form of leverage. Great. Continue. Right, the song ends. Servants, chaperones, debutantes. I still think chaperone. Success. Right. You help one break up the assignment of two of their wayward charges. The chaperone's eyes blaze with such indignance you imagine the paste gems in her ears and throat gleams with reflective fury. As you drag the recalcitrant debutantes from behind the heavy festooned curtains, you notice that the glass of the arched windows behind them is covered in a layer of soot, blocking any possibility of sunlight. Okay, I have one debutante's favor and I have one servant's favor. Okay, let's listen to the anxious chaperone. One of the chaperones approaches you as the evening ends. She has one blue eye and one green. I need your help, she says. The eye. You're trusted by both servants and debutantes, and that is rare indeed. It inclines me to hope that you may be admirable. Thus, I ask you a favor. You're a traveller. I trust something to your care. Without a pause, she pushes her fingers into her own eye socket and pulls out an eye with a wet pop. She holds it out to you expectantly. Are you expected to take this? Wait. On closer inspection, the eye is glass, although the iris is inlaid with emeralds and jet, flecked with gold. My family has committed themselves to the Brabazon work world to pay off their debts. This will buy years of their service. I beg you, take it to them. You wrap the chaperone's eye in your cuff. Perhaps you were travelling that way. Okay. We can go to Brabazon. Move onwards, I guess. The half-light masque is over. One of the blacked-out ballroom windows opens to reveal a passage back to the parlor at dusk, or perhaps dawn. The keening of the hours as they spun backwards makes your legs weak and your heart pound. You feel uncountably wearied. You spot a figure masked in a featureless black, their faces covered by a smooth oval of polished obsidian. Who are they? You enter the parlor through the portrait of the Empress and limp away, sore-footed from dancing and stumbling through the dark. Behind you, the members of the court of Perdurance chatter and take tea and make ready to begin their day anew. For tonight, and every night thereafter, is a half-light masque. That is kinda depressing. Right. Alright, the chaperone taps you on the shoulder. Oil on troubled waters. Never let it be said that you allow class to dictate the breadth of your friendships. The chaperones murmur quite congratulations, remarking on how your presence smooth what is often a difficult day. They do hope you'll return. You leave richer in gossip and smoothed by the distractions of the half-light masque. Well, there you go. I guess we have to give another invitation and go through this again. Because we have plenty of invitations, it's fine. Let's locate the council's agent. You drift nonchalantly about the room, observing and eavesdropping. At last you come across a small corner table when one of the chaperones, a clairvoyant doctoress, is shuffling tarot cards. The back of the cards bears a distinctive familiar pattern, the seal of the macabre counsellor. You give the doctress the slightest of nods. She winks back. "Please, sit," she bids, "and let me part the veil twixt present and future for you." The ominous tones are perhaps taking it a bit far. She's wearing modish fashions, but without any adherence to society's opinions regarding colour or pattern. Paisley is in magenta layer strips of emerald and indigo. Her hair is mousy colour, her eyes unremarkable, her face is pleasing brown, but not particularly distinguished. The overall impression she gives is one of dazzling colour and clashing patterns, a deliberate misdirection. She draws gruesomely hand-painted cards and lumpen crystals from a clinking beaded reticule and constantly smokes cigars. "Introduce yourself, shall we?" Sounds about right. "You promised help. Well, here it is." The clairvoyant doctress tosses edge of a floral embroidered caplet and runs a hand down the equally elaborate bodice. "Lovely. The plan. I'm to be the heiress's replacement. We'll swap clothes and perhaps a few other items. No one will know to look for her because she'll still be here. Clever, yes? Perhaps your skepticism shows," she grins. "Oh, you think we don't look alike? Allow me to assure you that is a temporary inconvenience. I'll worry about that. You worry about finding an escape route. I'd recommend gossiping with the debutantes, chaperones, and servants. Every cage, no matter how gilded, has a hatch through which someone can remove the shit. You mentioned the complication of the supplier sister and the heiress refusing to leave without her. Quite. Is our employer forgetful, do you think, or manipulative? It doesn't matter, of course. We were paid for the single sister, and I can't split myself into two. You'll just have to convince the Mrs. Macabre to separate, won't you?" Right. Let's get to know her a bit. You like to know who the people you're committing crimes with. Easier to predict at the likely moment of betrayal. "Never mind about that, just stick to the plan. It'll be all right and tight." The clairvoyant doctress yawns elaborately and dismisses you with the majesty of a dowager duchess. What's the smell on the breath under the bitterness of cigars? Candle wax? That can't be right. Right, return to the morning room. Move onwards. We've done all of these bits, so I'm just going to hurry it past. Let's gossip with the chaperones, shall we? Where else to look for scandal but amongst the guardians of morality? Perhaps they know something useful about the macabre counsellor's daughters. Wine and secrets. Wine loosens their tongues. The older of the macabre counsellor's daughters was, until recently, engaged in an affair with the frivolous forewoman below stairs, a woman lacking in social status or connection. You point out the regimentation of each cycle. How could the luckless sister perhaps possibly slip away to an assignation? The chaperones indicate the nearby dumbwaiter built to carry hot food and dirty dishes from below stairs. A concealed door in the morning room apparently serves a similar purpose. Next time you visit, perhaps you should take a little look below stairs. Well, there you go. I'm learning stuff. Move onwards. Twisting and turning. Let's gossip with the debutantes. The debutantes tell you of the governess, the Empress's agent who wears oval masks of featureless obsidian. They're only glimpsed in the passages between morning and afternoon, between afternoon and evening, and between evening and dusk, or perhaps possibly dawn. You hear stories of disappearances and secret tribunals, of interrogations and re-education, a court that lies beneath the court. There are hidden hatches and passages, the doors of night. The governess uses them to remove those of us whose family displeases Her Majesty. You wonder whether you can make certain sister vanish in the same manner. After evening would be best. Okay. Locate the governess's secret tunnels. Let's do that. The doors of night. The music ends, the dancing dies, and lights dim. The chaperones, like patient sheepdogs, herd the debutantes together. The doors from the evening opens into the lightless passage. As ever, the debutantes gossip and giggle, using merriment as their shield against the gloom and the faceless figures that it might hold. This time, as you pass along the corridor, you turn your eyes from the candles to preserve your night vision. You ignore the procession and study the dark. There, a cloaked figure in the featureless obsidian mask emerges from an unseen door. They glide alongside the procession, looking intently into each person's face. The debutantes look away, a touch of hysteria creeping into their jollity. You search the walls where the governess has appeared, finding the cracks of a closed door and hidden catch that opens it. This is an escape route you need to squirrel one of the sisters away. On a future evening of in Perdurance, when all else is in place, you'll be able to make use of this. Perfect. The Deviton veers away in the last moment. Terribly sorry. Thought you were someone else. Of little significance. It appears that you made a little impression during your time here. The inhabitants of Perdurance are always already hard at work percolating the feuds and affairs that will dominate the new day. You make a quiet exit. Alright, let's send in another invitation. Right. Go below stairs. So much work. The area below stairs is part like the kitchen of a grand country house, like a factory floor. Cooks prepare food in enormous pots. Servants appear with empty plates to be scraped off and cleaned, even whilst others carry steaming dishes upstairs. Further back are the rows upon rows of owl looms, each tended by weavers with their hairs pinned tightly back. The heat of cooking combined with the shudder of machinery in pandemonium. Let's speak to the forewoman, shall we? The forewoman's waistcoat is dark and tightly buttoned. Beneath it, a corset strives gallantly against her ample figure. Her skirt is hitched up over a pair of soot-stained trousers and ankle boots. String of glass beads glitter at her throat, casting dazzle over her rich ochre skin as she bellows orders, sending workers scurrying from this loom to that. She turns to you, her eyes aligned with pitch, grime, or cosmetic affectation. Ask her what she does. The forewoman squints. I keep this damn place running like is what I do. Do you think that the looms ravel their own time or untangle knotted skeins or order new consignments of hours to make sure that the above don't go wanting for their precious perfect day? You ever been in an owl-clouding accident? You ever seen a weaver's scalp torn off by when their hair gets tangled in the warp? She takes a deep breath, and her already impressive bosom inflates to magnificent proportions. Them above think that they're all that, but this, right here, this is what Perdurance's heart and soul. That was a terrible accent. Ask about the luckless sister. Right, worth 10. The Phlegonier's forewoman's expression turns hard in an instant. The Marvavs have been talking, have they? Snide little gossip. She's only one of them worth anything. She sounds remarkably affectionate as she warms to her subject. Perhaps it was the luckless sister who broke off their affair. No, it was me. The forewoman admits miserably. Her face spasms for a moment. She draws out a handkerchief from her corset and coughs hotly into it. She shoves the handkerchief into the pocket, but not before you notice a violet stain on the fabric. Uh-huh. She has more secrets. Ask about the handkerchief. Saw that, did you? I travelled before I was a forewoman, and on my journey I was exposed to certain spores. They colonize both my lungs and my thoughts, a part of something old and vast. They wake impulses in me, the last and latest of which is to bring them home. I've denied them as long as I can. I must leave soon. She looks away. That's why I broke off the affair. Better to do it like that than to sneak off in the night. I thought about asking her to leave with me, us, but it would mean abandoning a sister, and what if the spores colonize her too? But maybe. Oh, no use worrying about the maybes. Huh. There you go. The intrigue. Right, morning's over. Speak to the doctress? I think we've kind of like got everything we need. Oh, no, return to the dining room. I need to go to the below stairs. No, I already spoke to the forewoman. Yeah, I've already done all this bit. Let's just move on. It's the evening we needed. So let's dance with the luckless sister first. Let's just reconcile her. You begin by hinting at the frivolous forewoman's secret motives, casting their entire situation into the frame of a romantic tragedy. The luckless sister attempts to look uninterested, but her eyes betray her. You tell the truth that the forewoman suffers from a singular fungal condition, that in order to tend to it she will need to leave Perdurance, that she ended their relationship in order to protect the luckless sister. I don't need protecting, the sister snaps. Indeed, indeed, but she can't stay with her lover and her sister, can she? Oh, you clever for a brute. Very well. If you promise to take my sister away from here, I'll convince her to go with you. Perhaps after this business with the fungus, I'll see her again. You better bring the forewoman the good news. Alright, song ends. Um, okay, let's talk to the Okay. Oh, so I need to speak to her later. Right. Well, I guess I'll just try to get some debutantes happy, whatever it may be. That didn't work. We need to do another day. Oh, wow, this is involving. Move onwards for now. The debutant veering away, 50%, 50 experience. Give another invitation. How many do I have? I have 2 left. Okay. Right. Right, let's go below stairs and talk to the... No, talk to the woman and reconcile her with the luckless sister. You enlarge upon the luckless sister's willingness to renew her relationship with the forewoman and elope together if the need arises. She'd come with me, even appreciating my condition. Damned implants, that girl's got 3 times her courage and she does sense, and that's a fact, but I couldn't... You took her round from her wavering. After all, true love conquers all. Not true love conquers everything but some mushrooms. That's so sweet. That's kind of cute. Okay, end the conversation there. Move onwards. Speak to the clairvoyant doctress. Okay, tell her we are ready for the escape. The sister willing to part. The avenue of escape has been identified. Is she prepared to do her part? Yes, yes. Give me a sign in the evening and we'll meet in the passages between evening and the parlor. Okay, right. We are ready to go. Let's try to charm a debutante. Why not? Again. Oh, success! You exchange wicked whispering observations on the nearby chaperones and servants. Your companion has a razor tongue and appreciates your keen observation of others' flaws. Great. Right. Move onwards. Twisting, turning. Continue. Right. Make your escape. Do I need to dance with the sister? Yep. Okay, no. Make your escape, I guess. I think that's it. Make your escape. All is ready. You give the clairvoyant doctress the fairest of nods, and she clicks her back shut with a determined snap. The evening takes an interminable time to end. You endure waltz after dragging waltz. Debutantes wheel endlessly across the dance floor. Then it is over. The music and the dancing ceases. The chaperones and the debutantes form their processions, ready to pass on to the parlor at dawn, or perhaps dusk, to begin the day again. You catch the eye of the presumptuous heiress, who gives you a nervous nod. The door opens. The dark passage beckons. The procession files in. No sooner have you passed through the door than you hear the clatter behind you. The doctors have made a show of dropping a bag in the dark and are searching for it. The chaperones are distracted. Taking the presumptuous heiress's hand, you pull her to the hidden door. You fumble at the catch. There's a trick to it, it seems. Hurry, your charge hisses. The catch turns, the door opens. You step through. You wait with the presumptuous heiress in the passage behind the doors of night. Her breathing is shallow and tense. You hear the procession move on, and there is a tap at the hidden door. The doctors, who seem uncannily well in the dark, is there. You admit her. Right, she says professionally, scrutinizing your companion's features. Time to do my bid. What exactly is your bid? The presumptuous heiress asks. Complete your escape. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Please, game. Okay, good. The doctress removes her unguent from her bag and begins scrubbing into the heiress's temples along her hairlines behind the ears and under her jaw. If you disappear, they'll look for you, the doctress explains, indicating the other woman is to lie on the floor. Therefore, I will be your replacement. Ideally, I'll give that stuff another minute to work, but I need to rejoin the procession before you're missed. Be still and be quiet. Sitting astride the heiress, she pushes her sharply fingernails into the skin of the girl's temple and slides it like a scalpel around her face with a sound like a tearing paper. I can't feel it. Why can't I feel it? The heiress gasps. The doctress shuts her. Once the incision is complete, the doctress reaches up and with a tug slides off her own face. What? Behind it is a solid knot of muscles, palpitating and human, like a magician whipping tablecloth beneath a set of crockery, she swaps her face in the heiress's. A few pinches and tucks, the application of ointment from another jar, and the process is complete. Done, says the doctoress. And the presumptive heiress feels the unfamiliar shape of a new face. You turn your back as they quickly trade clothes. Ask the doctoress what she is. In old London, your kind called me Snuffers. We were not friends. Few of us made the journey into heaven, or perhaps many of us did. Who knows how many of us hide behind faces you thought were familiar. She grins and is surprised by the shape and feel of a new smile. Then it's time to part. She returns to the procession and you lead the heiress on. The governess's hidden tunnels wind behind the grand chambers and beneath the hour looms. You pass cells, the shelves and records. Sometimes you hear voices and hide until they pass. Eventually you find your way towards an exterior gantry from where you can see your engine in the sidings of the parlor. Using a stolen lamp, you flash a signal until your crew come to collect you. Right! We've got her! Success! It only took like 40 minutes. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode and the intrigue and the drama and all of it. I hope you'll come back for more. But more importantly, as always, I hope you have a lovely, lovely day. Mwah!